It's stories and topics like this that honestly really make me pissed off more than anything whenever I hear about a new remake coming out. Whenever I hear that they're remaking a new live action for something that was like maybe animated like 20 years ago or even 10 years ago, or they're remaking it completely, something that was like a movie from back in the 80s and now they're remaking it completely, is because so many of the times whenever they go to remake something that was so great in the past, it kind of feels like, why are we remaking this, right? And obviously the majority of the time, the answer is fucking money, right? But when you are going to remake something, when you are going to turn something from an animated movie or an animated show into a movie, into a live action, whatever it may be, even if it was previously live action, now you're just remaking it completely into like, more of the modern day or whatever it may be, is that I absolutely hate whenever they go to change a lot of core elements of the show or the movie or whatever it may be of that medium, because it's just like, what's the point in remaking something if you're taking away the core elements that define the show or movie or the characters that are involved in said show or movie? And that has got to do with the recent Avatar Netflix adaptation, right? And they are closing in on season 2 of this. Now, season 1 did come out early last year, and it was met with like relatively decent reception. I mean, it wasn't like horrible, but a lot of people, obviously, with how great Avatar The Last Airbender is, I mean, if you've ever watched the original series, you know that to me, at least, it's one of the greatest animated shows of all time. Like, it is amazing. Season 1, 2, and 3, all of them are absolute bangers. And like, yes, this is obviously the first season in the Netflix adaptation, a lot better than the M. Night Shyamalan adaptation movie that we had years ago. I mean, a lot of people just like to forget about that, but it still wasn't like, it doesn't live up to the expectation of the show. But now they are starting to, I think, at least I'm not sure if they're in filming of season 2 or it's in some kind of post-production, but we have had word from the actress of Toph about her character. And if you don't know who Toph is, she's one of the most beloved characters in the entire show. She gets introduced in season 2 as Aang's earth-bending teacher, right? She's a great character, an amazing, phenomenal character. The way that she is written in the show itself is really great. It suits her character and everything about her is great. But there was this article that got released about a week ago, over a week ago, and I'm surprised that I didn't actually see this article itself. I haven't even seen that much making its ways around on the internet, which really surprises me. It wasn't until someone actually sent it to me, one of my friends sent it to me today, because they are a massive fan of Avatar and they know that I am as well. And it's where that apparently Avatar's Netflix, they are going to make the live action Toph more feminine. And the actress herself, who I think she looks really great. I think that she actually looks the part. Now, obviously, we don't have any photos of her in character, but I do, like, this is a photo of her herself. And I think that she actually looks like Toph. I think that she will look the part extremely well. Once she's in costume, I think that she'll look great. I think that this is a great casting for the character. But she came out in an interview. My version of Toph is going to be a little older and slightly more feminine. I feel like I wanted to work into a very humanizing space for her because, she was a cartoon. I have met Michaela, who plays the voice of Toph, and I feel like we both have a very similar take in terms of process. Yes, she is going to be like more older in this show, right? Like, obviously in the original show, they were pretty much fucking children. They were kids in the show because it was originally made as a TV show for kids. But it's like one of those shows where it's like, it's made for kids, but it's ascended to like such a great animated show where no matter what age you are, you can watch that show and enjoy it for what it is because it is that good. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? If they want to age up the characters, that's fine, right? I feel like there's nothing wrong. That's a change in something where it's like going from a animated show to a live action, that there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't understand of them wanting to make the character more feminine is that if you look at the characteristics of Toph, her having those tomboy characteristics, that makes the character. That's the character itself. Why are you going ahead and taking something that is beloved by many? And Toph, I would have to say, is in easily the top 3 most favorable characters in the whole entire like Avatar lore, not even just Avatar The Last Airbender, but even if you like go out, because if you don't watch, you've never watched Avatar Last Airbender or even know a lot about like its extended story, is that there's so much more to it than just the TV show. There's comics, there's a lot more like lore when it comes to it, and obviously we had Legend of what was it? Korra? Yeah, The Legend of Korra, that's it. I forgot it for a split second there. And there's so many great characters throughout that as well that are just outside of Avatar The Last Airbender, going into the comics and also into Legend of Korra as well. But Toph is like, have easily been one of the most beloved characters because of those characteristics, because she's firm, because she has those tomboy characteristics, because the contrast between her and Katara, and they get into it a lot in the show, when she first joins the crew, they start to butt heads because Toph has more of those tomboy characteristics where Katara has more of those feminine characteristics. And that's what makes their dynamic so well, and that's what makes the show really great to watch, is because you see these characters who Toph is brought onto the Avatar's crew, and they start to butt heads because of their differences, because, you know, one is a tomboy and one is more feminine, and then they learn to get along and get used to each other's differences and live with those and become a great duo in Toph and Katara. And the thing is that, like, if you want feminine representation in this show, there's already so much. I mean, I already did mention Katara when it comes to the Avatar crew, but then even if you look outside of that, you have Ty Lee. She's a great feminine character. You have Suki as well, who's part of the Kyoshi Warriors, and even though she does have those characteristics where she is a warrior, she does show more of those feminine characteristics than someone like Toph does, especially when it comes to her relationship that she has with Sokka throughout the entire show. And it's like, you have these characters in this show. Why are you wanting to change this character? And the thing that makes it really funny for me, and that kind of made me confused with this, is because a lot of the times whenever we see these characters that get changed from one thing to another, usually it's the opposite. Whenever I've seen this in recent times, is that whenever we've seen characteristics change, usually it's a character who's been more feminine and they try to change them more into that tomboy independent woman type of character, and this time they're actually doing the opposite. I don't know why. I mean, we saw that in the recent Snow White, where they took this beloved character, historically beloved character in Snow White, changed the story completely, tried to make her like this boss-ass bitch type character, this I don't need no man, I'm an independent woman character, and everyone hated it because it was done wrong, and because they took an original source material that was beloved and changed it. Like, that's what people hate. People don't care about the specific characteristics. It's just like, oh, I hate this character because she's a tomboy. I hate this character because she's feminine. No, we hate bad written characters, and we also hate characters that are already established and beloved by so many, and you take them and you try to change them. That's what people hate. So I don't understand what they're doing with Toph. Leave her the way that she is. Why are you changing this? And you might be saying to me, Donnie, like, is this really that much of a big deal to, like, you know, go hoo-ha about, make a video about it? To me, yes. Because it's like, we see this all the fucking time. We see this so much. I mean, I just made it a great example of when it comes to Snow White, of where they take these beloved characters that people have fallen in love with over so many years because they were written incredibly well. They were done really, really great. And it's like, if you want to remake something and it was already great, just remake it frame by fucking frame and leave the characters the way they are and do it as a genuine great remake. Stop taking beloved characters and trying to think that you can fucking do better, because that's what it comes down to. Me, like, that's how I see it a lot of the times, is that whenever these people take a beloved character and remake it into something else that's not what it originally was, it's fucking ego. That's what it is. To me, it's just like these writers, these Hollywood actresses, actors, writers, producers, is that they think that they can do better than the original source material. You can't. You fucking can't. Leave the original source material how it was, because it was good how it is. You can't change it to be better. That's not what your job should be, because you can't do it. So yeah, I think that this situation is dumb, and I'm sick and fucking tired of these Hollywood productions where they take beloved characters and they try to change them. Leave it. Fucking leave them the way that they are. You want to remake something? Leave it the way it is. If you really want to remake something, make it frame by fucking frame. Leave the characters the way they are. But I would definitely like to hear what you guys think about all this down below. What do you think about this whole entire situation? You like me? Are you just like really annoyed with the fact that every single time there's a remake for something, they always try to change something because they think they can do better? But, you know, if this goes through and they actually decide to make Toph's character more feminine, I think that they'll just end up ruining the great character that she is. But that's going to be it from me. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.